Hey everybody, welcome into the Delmarva Sports Insider, the only live and local show dedicated to giving you all local sports here on the shore. I'm Sports Director Brandon Bosser.
What is up? It is yours truly, sports anchor Devin J. Martin. It's time for DSI, Brandon.
Yeah, that's right. First of all, thanks for starting off your Memorial Day weekend with us. Before we get into the show, we want to take a moment to thank and remember all of those who made the ultimate sacrifice for this nation.
Yep, we are very, very deeply grateful for those who served in our forces and laid their lives on the line for us.
Yeah, and it's important to remember that as we celebrate this weekend. So make sure you take some time out this weekend to honor those fallen heroes. Now let's get to some championship previews. We have 3 teams competing for state titles tomorrow. I am so excited. We are finally here to championship weekend.
I'm really happy about it too. Again, 3 Bayside teams. They all have a chance to come away with a ring and make school history. Starting in the 2A, the Parkside Rams, they're making their trip across the bridge tomorrow to face the number 1 seeded Patuxent Panthers for baseball. The Rams are coming off of a 7-0 shutout win over Sparrows Point Brandon in the semis. And for the season, they have accomplished enough. And with one final practice today, Parkside's coaches walked through what to expect tomorrow. And from what I saw, they seem very confident that they have what it takes to capture the school's first state baseball title.
Yeah, and they should be confident because Patuxent is definitely a tough team. They're 21-4 on the season, and they're a number 1 seed for a reason. But head baseball coach Kyle Dauber says that doesn't matter. He has faith in his squad.
We set goals, and the state championship, of course, is the final goal, but it was winning the Bayside, winning the Bayside South, winning the Bayside, winning the region in advance, and they stepped up to the challenge each goal, and we're here for the last day. We're just going out there worrying about ourselves. We're going out there to take care of our business, play Parkside baseball, and that's all we got to do.
Yeah, Brandon, Parkside's been on an impressive hot streak, obviously. They just need one more performance, one more great performance. Again, it's going to be a tough task for them. But they seem very chill. They seem very calm. They seem very confident. I mean, they've won a lot this year, and I think they have a great chance to show the entire state what Bayside baseball really means, and by taking home a title.
Yeah, they sure do. And you know what? Like you said, they've never won it. They've been to the championship in 2010 and 2014. They were the number 1 seed in 2A last year and lost in their first playoff game. So I think that we kind of overlooked Parkside a little bit. They were able to take the Bayside championship in baseball and prove that they were the best team from around our area. So they will have a chance to show that they are the best team, not only in our area, but in the state of Maryland, coming up tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Down in the 1A, the early game tomorrow afternoon, the Colonels have a chance for revenge against that team that beat them in last year's title game. This is juicy right here.
Yep.
So the Colonels get their rematch against top-seeded Clear Spring. Last year's title game went in favor of the Blazers 11-3. This year, the Colonels have been motivated by righting that wrong, and taking down the Blazers would be poetic justice, you could say, Devin.
Oh, yeah.
The Colonels beat the Northern Huskies 6-4 in the semis. Today, their final practice of the season, the Colonels worked on hitting and base running, plus going over some last-minute adjustments to get prepared for Clear Spring's Hudson Trobach, their starting pitcher, who's going to Old Dominion to play for the Monarchs next year. So that's going to be a tough task to face him on the hill. Coach Blanchfield says the Colonels are going to stay true to their game plan come tomorrow afternoon.
I mean, we're kind of sticking with our normal game plan. Just continuing to try to get better has always been our battle cries. How can we improve? We got a day to do it. We had 3 days to do it. Today's the last day to do it. That's literally what I just told these guys. How can you use today to get better? We're extremely excited to be there, but we're not okay with just being there. We went last year. It was great. We were there to compete last year. We did compete last year. We're going back to win the thing this year.
Yeah, I love the confidence that he spoke with.
You gotta love the confidence.
And that's the thing. When your coach has that much confidence, again, it wasn't overconfidence or arrogance. He didn't guarantee the win or anything, but he seemed very sure that the Colonels were going to show up to play tomorrow and play well tomorrow. And when your coach feels that confident, that just has to instill confidence in the rest of the team. So
you don't want your coach saying, we lost 11-3 to them last year. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow.
No, he's pretty sure.
You got to go into it thinking, we're going to win. We're going to get our revenge. Colonels play Clear Spring coming up at 1 o'clock down there in Waldorf.
Yeah, now we're going to stay in the 1A, Brandon, but we're going to switch sports. We're going to go to softball. We've only got one Bayside team left alive from Maryland in the state playoffs, and we were so close to having an all-Bayside title game. That would have been insane.
I think everyone was shocked that we didn't have that all-Bayside title game with Mardella losing 3-2 in the semis.
Yep, and they were on opposite side of the brackets, Mardella and North Dorchester, and they just needed each win to face each other in the title game. And you already said it, the Mardella Warriors, they came close, but not close enough. But the Eagles are still flying high, repping the Bayside, and they're going to face off against the team that Mardella lost to, which is the Catoctin Cougars. Maggie Hubbard is the hero of the semis. Now, Brandon, let me paint a picture. Bottom of the 7th, the score was tied against Patterson Mill in the semis. Anna Hopkins had a base hit and then stole another base hit to get the second, and this is for North Dorchester. Emily Kelly was 2 for 3 that day. She was the next batter up. Patterson Mill decided to walk her. And then Mackenzie Lewis was the next batter. She laid out what Coach Hubbard called a perfect bunt that filled all the bags. And then that's when Maggie Hubbard came to seal the deal with the walk-off hit. And that guaranteed their win over Patterson Mill, which also showed how great the Eagles were in the clutch this season and definitely earlier in the week.
Yeah, these girls have worked under pressure. We haven't had to come back a lot this year. We had a tight game with Kent Island. We won that one 12-10. It was back and forth the whole time. One thing I'll say is these girls never give up. They fight until the very end. So I think it showed in that game, and if necessary, hopefully it'll show tomorrow. It's awesome to be in this position. We've said all year long, you know, our goal, obviously we want to win every game, but our goal is to be able to play as many games as possible, and these girls have done that this year.
So, yeah, Brandon, that game's tomorrow at 1 o'clock at College Park, so I'm really excited. I'll be going to that game personally.
Yeah, this is one of the best stories for the entire Bayside this spring season because North Dorchester has never even gotten to the finals, never got to the semifinals before. Here they are in the finals. They are the higher seed. They'll be the home team come tomorrow. They're going to be in College Park. This is fantastic for the Eagles.
Again, it's just, you know, if I could grade it on a scale in terms of just, you know, the story, I give it an A, but not an A+, because an A+ would have been if Mardella was able to seal the deal because they would have been able to get a chance at revenge. I mean, Mardella beat them at the end of the season. It was a walk-off hit.
Right.
And then Mardella also beat them in the Bayside Championship. It would have been just sweet.
Yeah, it would have been great to get that third chance
Yep.
for North Dorchester to face off with Mardella because Mardella did win both of those games. But North Dorchester with a chance to cap off their season tomorrow. I'm sure that Emily Cohey is going to be a big part of that as well for the North Dorchester Eagles. We'll see what happens at College Park. We'll be there tomorrow. Let's move over now to Delaware. The playoffs underway in a few different sports. Let's start with baseball. The defending champs, Cape Henlopen at home against Lake Forest. Cape won this matchup back in April. All these games taking place tomorrow afternoon. Sussex Central plays William Penn in Newcastle. The Golden Knights have won 4 straight games to finish the season, along with their first playoff game, and they've won those 4 games by a combined 30-0 score.
Wow.
So they are on fire right now at the right time of the season. The Sussex Tech Ravens at home to play against St. George's. They 10-run ruled the Hawks back in April, so they should be in good shape. And finally, Laurel is at Conrad.
And now over to softball. 4 games we're going to be watching for tomorrow. Indian River and Sussex Central, a rematch of the Henlopen Conference Championship, but a lot more on the line. I mean, whoever loses, their season's over. Sussex Tech is going to be going to Delmarva Christian. Good luck against Yoder in the circle for them. And Laurel, we just mentioned them on the boys baseball side. They're also playing softball. They're going to be hosting St. Mark's. And then Polytech plays at the 2-time defending champions, Caravel. I just want to give a quick shout out to Laurel. I mean, baseball and softball still alive in their playoffs. Very impressive for the Bulldogs.
Absolutely. And finally, in boys lacrosse, Cape Henlopen has to travel to Claymont to play Archmere. Vikings really don't travel in the second round of the boys lacrosse playoffs very often. Archmere went 12-3, but one of those losses was to Cape Henlopen by 5 goals. And finally, Cesar Rodney plays at Middletown. All these games, baseball, softball, and boys lacrosse that we just mentioned, taking place tomorrow.
Maryland and Delaware. We have a packed Saturday.
We sure do. We haven't even gotten to the Gulls, but we'll do that in just a second. That'll do it for the A block. We're calling our first time out. When we return, Salisbury men's lacrosse will play for a national championship in Philadelphia this Sunday. And we spoke with the legend himself, Jim Berkman. Our insider interview is next.
I'm John Smith from Parkside Baseball, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.